Welcome back to Social Worker Sidebars. I'm Marlise House. I'm the social worker at Tower Grove South and Gravois Park.
And hello, I'm Renika Goss. I'm the social worker at Fox Park and Tower Grove East.
Today, we're going to talk about having difficult conversations with your child. We've been noticing that our older scholars have been telling us that they don't really feel comfortable having hard conversations with parents. And so we're going to give you guys a few tips as to how to carry on with those conversations.
Great. Your kids will talk to you about things that you will talk to them about. Your input is treasured. Let's remember to just try to remain open. You have the ability to change. Your child will see topics that could be uncomfortable and or scary. Make it a habit to talk to them about small things so the big things will seem small. If we treat uncomfortable topics as embarrassing, kids will become curious about it.
Here are the 4 tips. The first is active listening. Give, practice, avoid, and acknowledge. Give your attention, practice empathy without judgment, and avoid interrupting. And always acknowledge their perspective.
I like that one. Tip 2, nonverbal communication. Let's just be mindful of our posture when talking to our scholars, your facial expressions. They pay attention to every body movement that we make, and the paralanguage, the tone, the speed, the pitch, the volume. All of these things matter when having these good conversations.
Tip 3, avoid, explain, and keep it short. Please avoid euphemisms. When we use a euphemism, that implies that we might be afraid of something or we're ashamed to talk about it. So make sure you try not to use euphemisms, especially with body parts, sex, and death. Make sure you're naming body parts. Talk about sex because it's going to come up and you don't want your kid to be curious about it and not ask you about it. And death, make sure we're explaining what death is and what it actually means. And then we go to explain. Explain what you're talking about. Explain to your child that you are the person to come to about anything that could possibly be uncomfortable. Keep it short. Simplify the facts as much as possible. Pay attention to the maturity of your scholar. You know your kids, so make sure you're keeping it short and giving them the knowledge that they need.
Absolutely. And tip number 4, feedback and follow-up. Honesty is the best policy. Children can sense when we're not being truthful with them. Adjust your language and explanations based on the maturity of your child. Follow up with a conversation to check on how they're feeling after your conversation. See if they have any additional questions and make sure that you're leaving those lines of communication open for them to share.
This is how you reach us. That's Miss Goss. She's from Fox Park and Tower Grove East.
And that's Miss House, and she's at Gravois Park and Tower Grove South. And our numbers are listed in the slide. That's our social work sidebars.